Okay, now that we've taken a look at a bunch of square numbers and what that means and square roots, what happens when we have to take the square root of a number that's not a square number? Now listen, this is a non-calculator approach, all right, because this is really a basic estimation skill that we want you guys to know. All right, so let's take a look first at the square root of 28. Now we know that 28 is not a square number. All right, so the first step we have to do is we need to go back and think of those square numbers that we memorized. And here is that kind of that beginning set. Again, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. Those are those right there. And you can see right there, all you got to do to figure that out is use your square number chart, right? So that what we can see is, well, wait a second. Square root of 28 falls right there between square root of 25 and square root of 36. Well, that means very simply that if we follow that line over, that it's going to be between 5 and 6. So that's all we have to do is realize it's right there between 5 and 6. And that is our answer. We just say square root of 28 is between 5 and 6. And that's all we have to do, right? Find the square number and then just move over to see where it is in the square roots. This is the helpful thing of knowing those square numbers. It makes this a lot simpler for you. All right, let's take one more example. Now we're talking about square root of 61. Again, your first step is to remember your list of square numbers and square roots, right? So again, here's a portion of it, right? And I can see right now that 61 is going to be right there between, square root of 61 is right there between square root of 49 and square root of 64. Well, all that means if I take the square root of 61, that means it's going to really be between 7 and 8. So really, when you're done, that's what you write. That the square root of 61 is between 7 and 8. And that's all that this is, really. Use your square numbers and just follow it right over. It's a real basic thing. Once you know what? Your square numbers. So make sure the more you know those, the easier that is. So this is how you estimate or approximate between which two square numbers is a square root that's not a square number.